So I went to the zoo last week and I thought I saw Whoopi Goldberg there. Turns out it was just a horse. And you know what? I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. That was very rude of me. I deeply apologize to the horse. Although they probably do eat the same thing though. A bale of hay. I'm just kidding. Like Whoopi's ever had a meal that small. I bet every time she walks into a restaurant, the guy working up at the front takes one look at her and says, "Let me guess, a small salad?"
No.
So my ex-girlfriend's been out of town for a while now. She's moved away a long time ago.
How long?
I don't know, maybe about 2-3 years. Well, one day she had posted on social media that she was going to be back in town. And later that day, me and a buddy of mine was eating lunch at a restaurant. And he looked at me, he said, "You think she's in town yet?" I said, "Yeah, I guess she is now. The sky's darkening." I actually saw her the next day when I walked into a Chick-fil-A to get me something to eat for lunch, and she was there talking to another friend of mine, and I heard part of the conversation. She was asking for a ride home, so I kindly walked up to her and asked her, "What's wrong with your broom?"
Must have been in the shop.
Gotta have it repaired.
Bristles fell out.
Got a few bristles missing there, pal.
So I heard on the news the other day that a moose wandered into a movie theater in Alaska. Can you believe that? That there's a movie theater in Alaska?
What do they show?
Beats me.
Frozen.
Frozen? Is it daylight or dark when they show Frozen?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Many mysteries.
So this one time in high school, when I was a sophomore, I remember they made us do this thing where we practiced filling out job applications. Which, what did I learn there? I learned how to write. Nothing I didn't know before, but anyway, a friend of mine asked me, who would I put as my emergency contact? I said Liam Neeson, in case I get taken.
Okay.
All right.
I'll give you that one. That is
the one about the mollusk in the sea.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that mean your ex-girlfriend's back?
It might be. Was that thunder?
Something like that.
Good chico.
All right. We are here at Creative Customs Hot Rod Shop with Justin Mccorkle.
Thank you, Dustin. I gotta tell you, man, it's really not many places I'd rather do a podcast or interview with you than right here at the Hot Rod Shop, man. I'm in my element.
I appreciate it, and I would like to thank my brother Dylan Willingham for letting me.
A Ram truck.
And
I love it.
And I would like to thank my brother Dylan Willingham for letting me film here today. Dylan, come on in, get in the film.
Lord.
Get in
Thanks,
the shot.
Dylan. Thanks, Dylan. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
All right, I'd like to thank you for having us. Thank you. Anyway, all right, now get out of the shot. Get lost. This ain't your interview.
That's enough. Take off.
Get out of here.
I'm being evicted from my own shop.
I love it, man. You got your Leonard Skinner shirt on too?
Oh, I appreciate
I'm all
it.
about it.
Dylan Willingham, everybody. He's Pantina and politics on TikTok. He's a TikTok star. Go follow him.
I don't know about that.
He's a tic-tacker.
TikTok star. I tell you what, if he's a TikTok star,
That bad?
if he's a TikTok star, then I'm a supermodel.
Well, you might be in some
Well,
countries,
you do have the
Dustin.
face
You know.
for radio.
Ha ha ha.
Face for radio.
Well, anyway, Justin, I appreciate you for doing this today. We'll wait till the bus passes. There he goes.
Don't yell you forgot one, please.
To everybody listening, I apologize. I wanted to get Billy Gibbons on today, but you know what? I couldn't get in contact with his people.
Well, I kind of am the next best.
But no, Justin, out of all seriousness, I'm glad that you're on the show. This is the third episode that I've done. The first two I did was him. It was a two-parter. We broke it into two parts.
Awesome.
I did it with Dylan.
No, man, I appreciate you having me.
So that means you didn't come in first. You're the second mover.
Well, he's a busy man.
Right. Right.
So, Justin, I wanted to start this interview off by saying, Justin, you ran for county council back in the year. Help me out here. Was it 2018, 2019? I can't keep track.
2020.
He
Surely
was 2020.
Yep.
So that was during the coronavirus and all that crap.
It was. It was an interesting time.
But you know, to the people listening, this is not the first time he and I have done an interview, and I apologize. I didn't do a very good job of it. I had a list of questions. I didn't even do it right. I did it like a Joe Biden interview. I did it like, like, you know, he's got the cheat sheets. He knows who to call on.
That may not be a bad thing in certain
Where's
circles,
Chris Cuomo? Where's Cuomo? Oh, he got fired. That's right. I forgot.
Oh, he's out of here.
Well, why did you want to run for county council?
I think my main objective was I just kind of want to leave the place a little better than I found it. And I know that's painting with a broad brush, and I know that kind of covers a lot, but I felt like in the southern part of the county, especially when I was a kid, that maybe there were a lot of bright minds that didn't quite have the opportunity. Maybe there was, you know, growing up where I did, I was kind of out in the country. I love it. Still want to be there all I can. I love being out there, but there's certain things that you know, maybe some of those kids and certainly myself and my peers growing up, we didn't know existed. A lot of these opportunities out here that you know, help you in life or help you to further education or further an opportunity, you know, those things didn't even exist. So I want to try to think ahead for our future. I think that I had a feeling that too many things were reactive instead of proactive, and I want to try to set the future up better for well, I mean, you're one of them, you know, for your age group, and certainly, you know, the ones after you.
Yeah, a lot of people in my age group don't appreciate hardworking people. They think they should just have everything handed to them. It's very sad.
Well, that's not just contained to your age group, but I get where you're coming from.
You work in the service industry, you see it every day.
Well, to people watching that don't know what a county councilman does, can you tell us some of the things that a county councilman does?
Sure. You spend a lot of time with people. You know, and I think I'm kind of a people person anyway. You know, I have a natural an element about me that likes to entertain, kind of like yourself. I like to see people smile. I like to see people happy. I like to try to solve problems for people. In the role that I have on council, there's no shortage of those opportunities. You know, we do everything from trying to make suggestions based on what the people we represent want, as far as ordinances and rules, regulations, that kind of thing. It's very involved, and there's a lot of you know, there's committee work, there's constituency work, there's a lot of different elements that go into being a small government elected official. But for the most part, it's fun work to me because you know, I enjoy working with people.
Do you ever have to work with people, with big people in the state, like Sheriff Chuck Riot or Governor Henry McMaster?
No, certain times, you know, we work with the sheriff's office because we, from a budget standpoint, you know, we're kind of responsible for working in what they have to have and trying to go to bat for those guys to try to get them their competitive pay here recently, and trying to get our officers and our EMS and fire people what they need. And so, yeah, I worked with Sheriff Wright quite a few times, actually. Governor McMaster, not quite. He probably doesn't know that I exist.
Really? When you were in the county buildings, do you have to have someone follow you around for security?
Oh no. We have our awesome sheriff's office. We have some of those guys that are there all the time, and certainly during any kind of you know, public meeting or whatever. They do a great job. I certainly don't need any kind of security detail.
So there's no one following you around everywhere.
No, I'm not much of a threat. I would
See?
probably fall down or you know.
Well, that's probably a good thing, because if you go to the bathroom and somebody's waiting in on the other side listening, you're probably going to have a hard time going.
That's something I never thought of. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Okay? Let's get something clear real quick, because
Sure.
I didn't mention that you are the county councilman. You are the Republican county councilman of District of Spartanburg, South Carolina, District 4.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I ran under the Republican ticket. Of course, I am associated with the Republican Party. The city council is a little bit different than us in the fact that they're nonpartisan, but at the county, yes, we are
Okay.
Republican and Democrat or independent. But yes, I'm associated with the Republican Party.
And you mentioned that you like to entertain. Well, that clearly shows. A lot of people that are listed may not know this. You have your own band, Justin Mccorkle Band.
Yeah, I hesitate to say I have it because it's not that anybody really quit or anything. When our glorious little COVID deal hit, where we were playing festival venues, group venues, they're just all of it shut down. It kind of put a damper on what we do, but yeah, it's in my blood. It's something that I love, something that I'll always love, and something that I'll always do to some capacity.
Back in July 5th of 2023, the Justin McCorkle Band Facebook page posted, again, hopefully soon. I think that's a picture of you.
That is correct. And with that said, we could go ahead and mention our drummer right there in that picture, who runs the Justin McCorkle Band social media page, Mr. Michael Johnson. And he and I have had some talks about trying to put together another small group and do some things, and we probably will at some point in time.
So how cool is it to go to the county council website, the South Carolina County Council website, and there's a picture of you on the front page?
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of not sure whether. I don't know if I'm flattered about that or not. I'm not very photogenic.
No, you got a nice perm going.
That's a good photo. I think that's a good photo.
Well, thank you, Dustin. You're a kind fella. We're having to get an outside.
We're getting
outside
another
opinion here.
Patina's popping back in.
I didn't know you could dress that good. Is that one of them snap-on things you just kind of stand in front of it and it just covers your neck?
No snap-on.
So is it Matco?
I have to really tie it.
Oh.
How about that?
I didn't know you could tie it that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's one of my strong suits.
Ah! There's probably a button.
I wish there was a button for that.
I'll just hit one.
Let's see. A few months back, after Joe Biden visited South Carolina, Henry Master posted on X. I believe if X is the I'm sure you're aware is the It was formerly known as Twitter.
Correct.
Elon bought it. He changed it to X. So he posted that South Carolina is a red-hot state with a booming economy, a growing population, and quality of life unmatched by any state. Our role on the national political stage has seen 2 presidential visits to our state in the last 6 days since January 2017. We've announced 82,000 new jobs with $33 billion in capital investment. Our success originates from our people whose values, faith, and patriotism, work ethic are widely known across the globe. Do you agree with that statement?
Sure, to a certain degree. South Carolina is a great state to live in, and that's something that we've been faced with. Our county is seeing a definite influx of population and growth, and although I'm not, I definitely don't want to throw off on anybody that served on council prior to me, because I think the folks prior to me, they did a great job of what they had in front of them, and what they knew to do. think we need to be mindful of these kind of things and not let us get into the situation that we're in now with having to be reactive instead of proactive, like I mentioned. We need strong businesses here, obviously, to not only support some of our tax burden, but we need strong businesses to support our small businesses like we're in right now, like we all see every day. We have to have those, and South Carolinians are, we're workers for the most part. That's what the ethic that we grew up with, and that was instilled in us. That's you give an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. And, we're seeing so many people here because it's no secret that it just stinks where they live. They are having a hard time getting by. I mean, the middle class is being so pushed, let's say, in this country today that South Carolina is one of those kind of almost a refugee place. That's a big thing for me. I do everything I can in Spartanburg County to support our middle class and to keep that from going away. I don't want to see people that work hard every day continually kicked down and continually struggle. So that's a big reason why we're seeing a lot of the growth. It's a great place to live. South Carolina's a great place to be. We got the foothills, we got the mountains, we got the beach, we got lakes, we've got a relatively simple life compared to a lot of places.
What are some of the biggest things that you have accomplished since becoming a county councilman?
Wow. Some of those things are really why I'm seeking re-election, and I don't think that I could put my finger on one or the other and call it more important. But things that I think that we've worked well as a council is addressing the needs that we have. It's no secret the road conditions, those are just horrible, and a lot of our county roads have had to be reconditioned, and there's still a lot of work to do there. There's still a lot of work that our state has to do in general. I think as a council we've been able to come up with solutions to those problems, and it is not an overnight thing. It doesn't get implemented overnight. I think that we've been able to establish more lanes of communication to the public, as I have mentioned before. Being a resident myself, I think the county does a really great job at a lot of things. I think at times we have a poor way of communicating those things to everybody, and there's definitely room for improvement. I'm not saying that we're perfect by any means.
Well, no one's perfect.
There's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement, but I think we've really gone to bat to do that, to try to improve those communication skills. I've been involved with several rural areas that just kind of they need help. They're struggling. We've got great people in these areas. These areas are just kind of going downhill compared to what they used to be, and there's some revitalization projects. Innery is one of those. I've been glad to work with those folks. I've spearheaded a project that my counterpart in Lawrence County, as well as Senator Shane Martin on our Senate, and the Department of Transportation and the DNR all work together to get it's a river access point that kind of was a trouble spot. We have really worked together with our state agencies. They've been great to work with, and we've got the final drawings for that now. I'm really happy about it. There's going to be something that's turned in from a trouble spot to somewhere that's nice and paved, well lit. Lawrence County has been great in offering their law enforcement support and help. So I think it's going to be a really good project. So conserving green space, that's another thing that I'm happy about. We've seen some of that happen. We need business here, and we're not anti-people, but we do need to preserve some of our green spaces. We have some of the most beautiful natural resources in this state there is: the lakes, the rivers, a lot of it's unexplored. You know, if anybody watching, I encourage you to get out there now. I mean, get out and enjoy the outdoors in South Carolina if you're here. If you're new here, there's so much opportunity. You should get out there. I'm serious. There's so much opportunity, not only Spartanburg County, but throughout our state. So I think that we've tried to offer balance.
Right.
You know? That's what I've wanted to do. I want the good businesses that are here that are helping support our middle class and our tax burden and our small business. We have to have those guys, and we're appreciative of them, and we want to keep the good ones coming.
Wow, I was very pleased with that answer.
I like this interview.
We're fixing to get a lot harder. Where can we get Justin Mccorkle merch? Can we support the
that's a good
campaign
question.
anywhere?
Where do you?
Can we
Where
support
can
the
we get?
campaign anywhere?
Is it?
Last year we had these nifty.
Where can we buy your Justin McCorkle band merge, and where can we buy your Justin McCorkle for county council merge?
I don't think I have any band merch left. That will be a Michael Johnson question.
I'm texting him right now.
There you go. Text Michael and ask him where our merch is, man.
Somebody made you some really neat signs to go on your truck.
Yeah, I do have some really neat signs to go on my white Dodge. Shout out to Creative Customs on that. So, actually, I've got some stickers and that kind of thing. We're going to be doing some yard signs in the next few days. So you can always go to McCorkleCouncil.com, or of course you can follow my Facebook page. You could follow my Instagram. I've got a great team that supports me and helps me with that, so I'm so thankful for them. They have worked a lot lately getting that back together. Just a really good team. I really hope we can hear those chickens crowing in the background. That is awesome. I love it. In a hot rod shop with some chickens over there.
Oh yeah,
man, this is my alley right here, bud.
So you posted about I don't know, maybe it was a week or two ago. I don't remember now. You posted this about the new baseball stadium coming to Spartanburg, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. You posted on your Facebook page. What are your thoughts on that? It's been a hot topic. What did most of the people say?
Well, man, we have a broad. Some people are like, I can't wait to be there. I'll be there tomorrow. Some people are like, no. I think Dylan was just no.
I was actually not just no. I was Bugs Bunny going no.
No, that's right.
It was a little gift thing.
It was a Bugs Bunny no. So I think it was a hard pass for Dylan. So we. I've got a lot of different responses from that. So.
I believe that you responded that you were more of a racing fan. Is that right?
I am. I'm more of a racing guy than I am baseball. But I played baseball when I was a kid. Played Little League baseball, and that brings me back to a topic of why I ran. Some guys. My dad was involved in this too. Ed Peeler also was really involved, probably the most involved in the South Spartanburg Youth Athletic Association. Being able to build those ball fields for us when we were kids to play baseball, and we didn't have those opportunities there because it was more centered around town. Where it's no secret if you live closer to town, you expect and want more services. That's it's kind of the way it is. But yeah, I think the baseball stadium is going to be a good opportunity. It's going to offer retail shopping. It's going to offer a lot of different things, not just baseball. There'll be some concerts, some different a host of different entertainment options.
Jam will come by.
Monster Jam will be cool. Yeah,
full of dirt.
Yeah, man. So yeah, when I was a kid, my dad drag raced, and I've always been a drag racing fan. I've kept up with it.
I do love me some NHRA.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. I was more of a fan of the just the street cars that it looked like a street car and door cars, that kind of thing. The street car appearing maybe now more, but I'm happy about the baseball field for the most part. It's going to be a challenge, like anything else. It's not going to be an easy implementation. We'll see bumps in the road, that kind of thing. But I'm happy about it being funded with the accommodations tax, which is primarily collected by any kind of hotel stay, anything like that. The hotel stay would be your biggest source of accommodations tax.
What is your opinion on China buying up all the farmland?
I'm not. I don't know. Is that you'd have to help me out on that. I don't know a lot about it.
Well, they've been buying up a lot of the farmland. A lot of people don't want the farmers to sell.
No, and I don't know specifically about who's buying what. I'm not familiar with that happening in the county, but it's certainly possible. One of the things I do support is our agribusiness, and I've actually had the chance to work. That was rain and thunder.
Sorry about that.
That's what Dustin gets for making the joke about his girlfriend.
She's in town again.
There you go.
Rain on a tin roof.
So I've supported our agribusiness and worked with our state reps as well as one Spartanburg with our agriculture and agribusiness technologies. So that's something I'm really passionate about too.
All right, so we're having a little bit of weather going on, but we're going to continue the interview. I think the microphones will drown it out.
It's up to you, buddy. Whatever you want to do.
So let's talk about your real estate business, because you are in real estate.
I am.
How has Biden inflation affected your real estate business? I mean, a lot of people are having a very hard time affording houses right now.
Affordable housing opportunity is something that I can address with you on a county level, and it's something that we've strived to work with different entities to improve as well. It has. I mean, it's affected everybody. The real estate business certainly. I'm more the business type that I do. That was a good one.
Oh,
I don't do much of like big development spaces or anything. I prefer to do more kind of farmland, larger residential lots, larger residential homes and land, that kind of thing. Recreation land. That's where I like the most.
Well, what made you want to get into real estate?
Well, I had a drone.
You had a drone.
Okay. I had a DJI. I guess what was called a quadcopter at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be cool to maybe do some stuff with our music, blah, blah, blah. I was over at Bill McDaniel's office one day.
Okay.
And we were talking about it, and I said, hey, man, I ought to fly some of your real estate listings or whatever for you. And he said, yeah, that'd be cool. Let's give it a shot. Bill was probably the first person that didn't look at me funny, He was like, well, okay, let's do it. So consequently, I went out and did that for an agent that worked there at McDaniel, and I ended up helping Bill and his agents with their computer network, and I did that in a prior life. I was a network engineer in the healthcare space, so I helped them with that, tried to keep everything running for them, tried to keep them up to date, that kind of thing. A gentleman walked up to me that I have flown that listing for, and he said, here's you a check. Hands me a check. I'm like, oh, okay, for what? He said, well, it's for... We might have to postpone in a minute.
We might have to.
He said, well, that's for your services of shooting the video and doing a video edit of my property. And I opened the check, and it was like $2,000.
So,
which floored me at that time.
I believe in the last interview I asked you if being a businessman was going to help you as a county councilman. Has it?
I think that any prior business knowledge is helpful. Government accounting and government financing, etc., is it's not completely a different world, but it is totally different than a small business, and how it functions, and how things are reported, and how things are just the everyday happenings. It's totally different than a small business for sure. But yes, that I mean, knowing the ins and outs of some financials, obviously budget time, it helps.
Yeah.
A lot of things do cross over.
Now there is something I wanted to ask you about. Not because it doesn't technically have anything to do with you, but it's funny.
Okay.
So, oh shit.
Uh-oh. Dylan's closing the door. It's getting serious.
We might have to.
It might be easy. I don't think it's gonna work.
Is the rain supposed to pass soon? No. I had no idea we was going to get this rain today, so that's unfortunate.
Right.
I'm going to try to wrap this up.
No problem, man. You're a hoot. It's always fun.
All right, so Joe Biden's press secretary. So Joe Biden's team was posting about the investing in America, and they posted it on the wrong account. Instead of Joe Biden's, they did it on his press secretary's.
Okay.
And it stayed up. It got over 31.5 thousand views.
Right.
Before it got taken down, realizing they had made the mistake. But it's funny because it was supposed to be on Biden's, it was on hers. It says, investing in America means investing in all of America. When I ran for president, I made a promise that I would leave no part of the country behind. And let's see here. I believe that, what is your opinion on the record labels since your dad has been was in the music industry?
My opinion on record labels?
Yeah, because you got iTunes and you got YouTube Music and you got Amazon Music and you got all these things. You don't really need a label to get your music out anymore as long as you buy the right equipment.
There's a lot of people that are famous off TikTok.
True, yeah. I mean, I think from an artist standpoint or from a content creator standpoint, you got so many opportunities now. I mean, there's so much. It was so very, very small and very concentrated as far as distribution of music, comedy, or just anything really. It was so small and concentrated that you had to be in a certain loop or a certain group or maybe with it was just, we'll just say it was small and concentrated as far as distribution goes. There's so many more opportunities out there now. It's great, man. I think we're seeing a lot more music and arts out there because of that.
Well, for example, do you think that sometimes they can be too controlling? Like, how they say, no, that song doesn't really, an artist will sing a song, they'll be like, no, that song doesn't sound like you. We're going to give it to so-and-so. You do a different song.
I don't know if I would call it controlling, because you have a lot of different people that are in that business, and they may be looking for a certain sound or a certain result or whatever from an individual, and maybe they're saying that maybe wouldn't suit you. It maybe maybe you might need to go a different direction to be more successful.
Well, for example, a long time ago when Toby Keith came, I don't remember when Toby Keith came out with the song "I Want to Talk About Me," that was originally supposed to go to Blake Shelton, but the record label said, no, that doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, and I mean that was probably their purpose for that artist.
Yeah. And I can tell you another example. country singer from North Carolina, Scotty McCrary, once. Sorry, I keep relating everything to country music. I know that's
all good, man.
Scotty McCrary won American Idol back in 2011, and he was signed with Universal Records.
Right.
And he had some great hits. He had
definitely
from that standpoint onto. Hold on, I need to find my notes here. These are not in order, and I don't like this thing. Okay, so he had some #1 country hits: "Out of Summertime," "I Love You This Big," "The Trouble with Girls," "Water Tower Town." The rain is lighting up on us.
Yeah, definitely.
"See You Tonight" was part of another album he did in 2013. That was a #1 hit, "Feeling It" and "Feel Good Summer." He had a lot of great country hits, but then he in 2015 he released a song called "Southern Belle," and I think I don't think it did so well as his other songs did. I think it was like outside the top 50 or something like that.
Right.
And then he got a call not long after the song was released from his record label saying, "Hey, we're parting ways."
Yeah. You'll have to forgive me because I don't really keep up with top 40 country very much, but I see some of the things in the news, obviously, that kind of thing. For whatever reason, I couldn't imagine. There's so many reasons why they could have parted ways. The music business is a huge and intricate process. That's putting it mildly.
But in 2015, he got. After 2015, he got a new record label, Sony. He went with Sony, and he released a song. I believe it was 5 More Minutes.
Okay.
And that was a #1 country hit. And then he started dominating the country charts again. And it's like, you think Universal was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Quite possibly. Maybe there's partnerships all the time in any kind of business that just don't work out, and maybe Scotty and Universal was one of those partnerships that just didn't thrive. For whatever reason, I don't know.
Well, it's funny too, because when they called him, he didn't even know what parting ways meant. He thought it meant, all right, that's great.
Oh.
All right.
He thought he had a new title for a song, right?
Yeah, he probably did.
Let's try that one.
Well, yeah, they parted the Red Sea. Is this anything like that?
So, back in 2018, I believe that you made a post after Chris Stapleton's song "Broken Halos" won the. But it was either the CMAs or the CMTs or something. I don't remember now.
Right.
But you said, "Congratulations to Broken Halos for Song of the Year. Wish Nashville would have listened to the man and the song they ripped off.
That's correct.
He was too nice and let everyone take advantage of his accomplishments in life.
Yep.
Enjoy it, you bunch of fried sharks and
keep going.
Shysters.
Shyster. Shyster is a good one. Make sure you get that one in there.
It's only the
Digging up your past
it's only
already.
the song. It's the only song to come out of that town that hasn't hit pop, and it wins Song of the Year. Pretty much says it all.
Right.
Hashtag American Street. Hashtag George Mccorkle. Hashtag You're a Fraud Nashville. Hashtag Go Back to Bro Country.
There you go.
So it was similar to your dad's song American Street, George Mccorkle.
It definitely was. So it wasn't a slight against Broken Halos.
I'm going to make something clear. You weren't slamming Chris Stapleton.
No, I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan. No, absolutely not. It wasn't a slight against Chris Stapleton or Broken Halos at all. Broken Halos is a great song. It was a slight, and I'm in it because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of really big corporate, dominance in Nashville, and it seems so formulaic. It's so plastic. It's so it just the creativeness seems to be gone, and then you have a song like Broken Halos come along. This eerily, it sounds eerily like American Street. So, you know, and that made me just think, well, God, you know, Nashville is such it's full of some really bad people. Even though I must say I have met and still continue to this day to have some really great friends, relationships that I made that are people that are in Nashville. But the huge music machine, man, it just hits me wrong. To your point, that's why I'm so glad that artists have so many more opportunities for distribution now.
Yeah. So why do you think it was wrong back then to do that and not now?
To what do you mean?
You said that they ripped off of that song.
Yeah, you know, because when that song came out, it had so much of that. It has so much of that same feel. It has so much of that same vibe. It had so much of that same tone. So much of that, you know, it sounded and felt so much the same way that I don't feel like that music in that era got its fair share.
I guess I didn't ask the question. What I meant to say was, why do you think it was not as appreciated back then?
Probably the wrong time.
So you think he was ahead of his time?
It could be.
Okay.
Could be.
Okay.
You know, I think a lot of artists during that time, and some of them I've met, I've been fortunate enough to meet some great songwriters that had really big, really great hits during that time, and probably just didn't get the fair shake they got because of it. You know, Nashville becoming so formulaic, so plastic, so cookie cutter. You know, it hit me wrong. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I'm glad that everybody has an opportunity for distribution now, that a lot of this stuff don't get left behind anymore the way it did then.
Okay, so you got into the music industry yourself, the Justin Mccorkle band. Did you? What made you want to pursue music? I mean, for the sake of the interview, I already know the answer, but for the, you know.
No, I understand that you kind of know my background. I was born into music, obviously. I never really saw anything. I didn't ever want to be a big star or anything. I don't. That's not really my thing. I don't really care for that.
You're just doing it for fun.
Well, I did it because it's something that's kind of in my blood, I guess, so to speak. It's something that you can't let it go. I don't know. It's just one of those things that is kind of ingrained in you. It's something that, you know, I've had friends say, well, I wake up in the middle of the night and I've got a great song lyric in my head, and then I can't go back to bed. I can't sleep, you know. And that's a good representation. It's just something that's always with you. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe because of, you know, when I was a kid, it was ingrained, or, you know, being born into the music business in some shape, form, or fashion. You know, that's why. I never really wanted to be huge. I didn't ever want to be didn't ever want to be on any kind of TV shows or anything like that. I love playing music at festivals and, you know, kind of doing that kind of thing, and that was more the music to me. I think I got enough of the music business a whole lot quicker than I got enough of the music.
Right. So, you once posted on Facebook that the greatest thing I've ever been told.
Right.
Justin, you wrote some absolutely great music,
yep,
but you can't sing, and your guitar playing ain't much, and you're usually out of tune. I mean that sincerely, and thank you. You know who you are. I love you for it. Somebody really said that to you?
Absolutely. He's still a friend of mine to this day. It was just really funny that he said that, because I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not a great singer. I'm not a great guitar player.
You did fine.
Well, thank you. But I don't see myself as being anything maybe average, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. It was just funny that he said that, because, you know, we see so many people that inflate somebody's thoughts or somebody's personal recognition, I guess, and he didn't do that. It was just so funny, he blurted it out. You know?
Yeah.
Your guitar playing ain't much either. When I was in the studio doing some recording, I'm gonna refer back to Michael Johnson, because when he sees this, he's just gonna start dying laughing. A friend of ours.
Happening right now.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah.
He knows it's happening.
He's gonna die laughing. So a friend of ours was recording it. Tim Lauder. He was a bass player for the Marshall Tucker Band for many years. He's Tim's a rather to the point guy. He just looks over at me. He goes, "Dude, do you have a tuner? Tune it, dude." Oh, so we've always loved that, because I'm more hasty in trying to think of what I should say on stage or what I should be doing as far as the song list goes, instead of doing what I should, which is tuning my guitar. That's why it hit me so funny when that fella said that to me.
Wow. So,
where do you find this stuff?
Anyway,
he's a professional fact checker.
He is.
I'm fact checking.
Right. Digging up
Elon, I hear you're hiring. Elon, I hear you're hiring fact checkers to fact check the Democrats on X. I will turn in my application.
You should.
So, what are some of the favorite songs that you've recorded?
Well, I was a part of that whole American Street record, and I think it would be hard. We did a single called "Lucky to Be Alive" as a Justin Mccorkle band,
and it's a great song.
That's where my mind went.
Is that where your mind went? Well, that was probably one that we pursued as a single more than anything, because when I first heard that song in its infancy, so to speak, from Danny Shirley. And Danny Shirley actually wrote the song, and we just kind of put, we did it different than what they did or what they would have done, obviously. So Danny wrote most of the lyrics to that. I don't think we changed it around very much. I would have to look back. I don't think so anyway, but when I heard that song in its infancy, I was like, man, I can relate to this. There's so many people that can relate to this. It basically tells the story of a guy that made some poor choices in life, which all of us have done, and it's just that we're lucky to still be alive as a result of those choices.
Yeah, gas station sushi was rough.
Gas station sushi, yeah, that's not recommended.
So,
Journey Home was another one too that was on that American Street record. So I really loved Journey Home, and that was another one that I was glad to be a part of, and glad to be in the studio.
He secretly recorded "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" in his shower, singing his "Just for Men" body wash. He just won't admit it.
That is not true, but if Just for Men wants to donate to my campaign, I can tell you where to send a check.
Cue the 2.5 Men theme song.
So,
my hair's got a lot of gray, so I could use some. My hair's a lot grayer than the last time we did this.
Okay, so how did the Justin Mccorkle band come to be? How did y'all known each other for years, or?
Yeah. I don't really know, other than we just wanted to put a little small project together in Spartanburg, and I wanted to put together some folks that maybe could fill the spot of different backgrounds that would offer so many different sounds and textures and feels, and be a conglomerate of different things that are somewhat unconventional in what was going on at that time.
Okay.
It kind of reminded me a lot of, actually, the Marshall Tucker Band. You had a bunch of people that
Yeah.
could do and sing and play all these different instruments,
Right.
some of the same instruments.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
pretty neat. You could play off some of your dad's songs and you couldn't really tell the difference.
Yeah,
All the different talents that were just kind of dismissed.
Exactly, and of course I love doing Marshall Tucker Band songs. I mean, Toy Caldwell's obviously a huge hero of mine. Not only my dad, obviously George, but Toy and Tommy, and they wrote some songs that are great, and that was one reason that we were glad to get Allison on board, because she was not only a great keyboard player and singer, but had that flute ability, which was awesome. So we could pull off some of those, and also apply it in different places too.
Wow.
Really wanted to be a heavy on a slide guitar player, and JJ was probably one of the best slide guitar players I've ever shared the stage with.
And if you need a kazoo player, I know a guy.
Yeah, I've got that kazoo part hammered down. Nobody can take my position.
So I think we pretty much wrapped it up here. Quick question.
Sure.
For the people out there,
Yeah.
where can they find your music?
It should be still available. There's probably some YouTube stuff. There's probably some stuff on Spotify.
The clearance aisle at Ollie's.
Yeah, I don't think Ollie's would carry it. I don't think they would put it on the clearance aisle either. They just kind of just shuck it out back somewhere. Get out of here.
So now, where can people find your real estate business?
Oh, that's a good one right there. Thank you. I might be able to put some baloney on the table with that one. Yeah. I work with a small firm in Spartanburg, and it's called McDaniel and Company, and that's where we're at on the web, McDanielandco.com. Or I'm sorry, my email address is justin@mcdanielandco.com, and mcdanielandcompany.com is our website.
Which is mostly commercial.
All right, and
It's correct. Yep, mostly commercial.
all right, and I understand that you're going to rerun for county council. You're going to.
That's correct.
That's Spartanburg, South Carolina, District 4.
That's
Republican primary.
Yes, sir.
There you go. And when can people vote?
Ours is June the 11th. We need voters to turn out. It don't matter how you feel. It don't matter how what you feel is the right thing. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of where you're at, we need you to come out and vote what's in your heart. We really do. And a lot of people say, well, I don't see how you put up with somebody calling and saying these things to you. Well, if you don't call me and tell me, I don't know. And I think I've got some things, going with county council, some of the rural areas that will benefit from, and another proud accomplishment was earmarking some of those art funds to be able to get some of our rural areas a quality broadband service, which our kids need for education. I've got some projects like that I want to see through, and I want to continue doing. I'm not a career politician by any means. I don't. You'll never hear me complain about term limits. I've got some things that I want to see through. I feel like we've all worked really hard on those. I feel like there's a lot to be gained for the citizens of Spartanburg County from some of these things, and I just want to see them through. I want to continue to work for them, and I want to continue to work for the people I represent.
All right. Justin Mccorkle, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate you having me, man.
Thank you for watching. Remember, you can always catch the Comedic Genius Show on Facebook, Free Speech Rumble, and even YouTube. They hadn't censored me there yet.
Well, there's no time like the present.
Yeah.
Draw present.
Thank you, everybody. Justin McCorkle. Free bird.